working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
Right now at 5, a wild scene in Oildale begins with a stabbing and a vehicle plowing into multiple victims. Now, hours later, the suspects are still on the run. We'll have the latest.
The vaping epidemic hits close to home with the first confirmed hospitalization. What we know so far, plus an urgent warning this morning from local public health officials.
Impeachment. Democrats take their first formal step toward charging President Trump with a crime. But it's not a done deal. We'll explain what impeachment is and how the White House is responding on this Wednesday, September 25th, 2019. Good morning, 5 a.m. Great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. And we're really preparing ourselves for what today's going to bring.
Well, the calendar may say that it's fall, but it's going to feel a little bit more like summer today. And, Cav, we've been really lucky, especially over the last couple days, because the fair is underway right now. And we sometimes see these temperatures, these triple-digit temperatures during the fair.
Yeah, we do. And the good thing is we've seen this gradual increase in temperatures the last few days. And yesterday, our high was 91 degrees, still far from the record of 103 set back in 1919, but definitely seen a gradual warm up. And today, we're going to be warmer than that 91. We're at 69 degrees right now under a calm wind for Bakersfield. And as we take a look at the fair forecast for you this afternoon, 3 o'clock, we're looking at 98 degrees by 6. I think we'll be right near the century mark and then dipping down into the 80s by 9 p.m. So definitely going to be a warm afternoon if you're headed out to the Kern County Fair. We're at 48 degrees in the Tehachapi area right now under a calm wind. And as we take a look at the temperatures throughout the day for you, we'll be right near 70 by 9 a.m. and then mid-80s as we progress into the afternoon. I'll have much more on your forecast that's coming up in just a little bit. But first, let's send it over to Alex with a check outside.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. And taking you outside for the first time this morning to the 99 near 7 Standard. And as you can see, it's very quiet right there on that side of town. Everything else around the county also looking great to start off your Wednesday morning. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
We begin this morning with breaking news in the vaping industry. Moments ago, we learned the CEO of JUUL Labs, Kevin Burns, is stepping down. This comes as U.S. tobacco giants Philip Morris and Altria call off merger talks. JUUL has recently come under fire for marketing practices critics say target kids. Former Altria executive Casey Crosswave will replace Burns. Last year, Altria invested $12.8 billion into JUUL for a 35% stake in the company. JUUL also announced it plans to suspend all broadcast, print, and digital product advertising in the U.S. and won't lobby the Trump administration on impending policy to remove flavored e-cigarettes from the market and will comply with the final policy when effective. This all comes as Kern County has its first hospitalization linked to vaping. Public Health will not release any information about the patient. In California, there are 90 cases linked to vaping, as a string of illnesses have killed 2 people in Los Angeles and Tulare counties. There are 7 other deaths nationwide linked to vaping. Health officials say it's critical people learn about the known health risks from vaping.
We definitely want both people and parents to be aware of the risks associated with vaping and are urging everybody that does vape to immediately stop vaping.
Across the country, more than 500 people have been hospitalized with a severe lung illness and 9 have died. The FDA and CDC are looking into whether black market THC could be responsible. Health officials say anyone who's vaped in the last 3 months and is having respiratory issues, whether it's a cough or trouble breathing, should see a doctor.
More and more lawmakers are getting involved to try and stop the vaping epidemic. Today, the House Committee on Energy and Commerce is holding a hearing on vaping. The acting commissioner of the FDA is among those scheduled to testify. Yesterday, the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors unanimously voted in favor of banning flavored e-cigs and tobacco products in the county. This all comes on the same day state health officials put out a plea to consumers to stop vaping until health officials can figure out why people are getting sick. Here in California, 2 people have died and at least 90 others are hospitalized with vaping-related illnesses.
5:04 now. New this morning. Traffic is slow going on northbound Highway 99 after an early morning crash that goes to show how important wearing a seatbelt is. It happened just after 2 near Plans Avenue. The CHP says a semi that wasn't carrying any weight didn't notice traffic slowing ahead. The driver slammed into that white sedan and then went on to hit 3 other cars. A baby was pinned in its car seat in the back of one of the vehicles. The CHP says the child was strapped properly into that car seat and is okay. Paramedics took one person to the hospital for minor injuries. CHP officer told our photographer that he believed everyone was wearing their seatbelt. Officers don't believe alcohol or drugs were factors in this crash.
It was a wild scene in Oildale. That's where witnesses say a driver intentionally ran down two people after someone was stabbed. It happened just before 6 o'clock last night near McCray Park. The sheriff's office says deputies were called to the park for a report of a disturbance. That's where they say an 18-year-old man was stabbed in the leg. Deputies say the suspect then got into a car driven by a woman. She then plowed into the stabbing victim and another 18-year-old woman at the scene. Neighbors watched in disbelief.
There was a boy and a girl in the yard, and of course, the neighbor that lives there was out, and I don't know what happened. It just drove forward, hit the stop sign that was posted up in the yard, and it looked like it might have got stuck a little bit, backed up, and just went for it. And I just seen the two kids under the car.
Deputies found the car on McCray Street, but both people inside got away. Paramedics took the victims to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Less than 48 hours after a shooting left two siblings dead, the community gathered to mourn the tragic loss. The pair was shot and killed early Monday morning at the Santa Fe Apartments in central Bakersfield. 17's Karen Waugh was at a vigil last night held at the scene of the shooting.
39-year-old Morris Gilmeet is behind bars for allegedly shooting and killing the mother of his children, along with her brother. He was arrested after leading police on a car chase that ended with a crash.
The Santa Fe apartments were lit up with candles in the exact locations where two of its residents were shot.
Still shocked. I still can't believe it. I don't want to believe it.
Carlos Abraham, just 20, and his sister Louise Abraham, 34. Both gunned down, police say, by the father of Louise's children. Those four kids now left without a mother and with a father behind bars.
Good mother that got her life taken away by a monster. She would do anything for her boys.
Police say three of the couple's kids were present during the shooting.
To see that happen, their own father take their mother's life, I know they're traumatized right now.
But the kids aren't the only ones in mourning.
We were like best friends. I've known her for 7 years.
Court records show Morris Gilmeet has a history of domestic violence. Neighbors say he and Louise Abraham had a rocky relationship and were heard arguing before the shooting.
This should be a message to every woman that's going through this. It's not worth it.
Gilmeet faces several felony charges. He's being held without bail and is due in court later today. By our count, there have been 72 homicides in Kern County this year. 10 of those people have been allegedly killed by a partner or relative. I'm Karen Waugh, 17 News.
A powerful quake rocked northeast Pakistan yesterday, and this morning we're learning just how bad the damage is. 22 people are dead and more than 700 others are hurt. The magnitude 5.8 quake badly damaged a key road leading to the town of Mirpur, where most of the damage was located. Officials there say most of the deaths were caused by collapsing roofs and walls. Rescuers are still finding victims in Mirpur and taking them to hospitals. An emergency was declared in Pakistan administered Kashmir, where the town of Mirpur is located.
Fire investigators are trying to figure out what sparked a massive hay fire in Fresno. The flames broke out yesterday afternoon near the city of Kerman. The fire burned some 1,100 tons of hay and farm equipment. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Homelessness is an issue we continue to follow closely here at KGET, and today we'll find out if the Bakersfield City Council will approve more funding for the Kern County Homeless Collaborative. Yesterday, county supervisors approved a memorandum of understanding, or MOU, with the city of Bakersfield. In that MOU, the county agrees to pay $155,000 every year until 2024 to help fund the collaborative. The Homeless Collaborative is primarily a volunteer organization loosely made up of local agencies, but if the funding gets approved, the collaborative would get an executive director and 3 full-time staff members. The county says this is another way into working to combat homelessness.
We all recognize that this is top of mind for everyone. You drive around anywhere in the county and you're going to see the issue rising. And so this is one of the many steps that we're taking to ensure that we're actually changing the face of homelessness and the issue that our city and county are facing.
The City Council is set to vote on the MOU today. If approved, the city, too, will help fund the collaborative with $155,000 a year through 2024.
5:10 now. It's official. Democrats have taken the first step toward formally charging President Trump with impeachment.
But it's not a done deal. Coming up in less than 30 minutes, we'll explain what impeachment means and doesn't mean, plus how the White House is responding.
We're back at 5:13, and we've been enjoying beautiful weather recently, but we have to pause for a few minutes and realize, wait a second, we're in Kern County.
Yeah.
It's September.
Yeah, we see those temperature swings, especially as we roll into fall, and that's what we're seeing right now with the 90s and upper 90s, triple digits on the board for you today before we start to see a little bit of a cool down, but just not yet. 69 degrees. Currently, we've got a calm wind right now in Bakersfield, and as we take a look at temperatures, 67 in Delano, 65 in Wasco, 72 in Taft, and then for the mountains, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Right now, Tehachapi, grab a jacket, you're 48. 63 into the Kern River Valley, and overnight, 69. So 7 degrees off the normal. Normal high today is 88, will be above that, and 103 is the record. That was set back in 1975. I am expecting temperatures near 100 today, so we may just be 3 degrees off our record, so we'll see what happens there. 649 will be your sunset for tonight. Satellite and radar not showing much. We've got clear skies out there. Maybe a little bit of patchy fog along the coastline, but not like we were seeing yesterday. And here's a look at temperatures right now. 70 in Fresno, 67 in L.A., 69 in San Diego, and we even have some nice temperatures out of Vegas, currently at 71. The Bay Area under clear skies and 67. No winds to talk about there, so a beautiful morning. And as we go throughout the afternoon, we are going to be looking at triple digits in Sacramento, Fresno at 99, 79 out in Morro Bay, and then you can see down to the south, 70s in 80s. In fact, Los Angeles is going to be warm today. They're looking at the mid-80s and then warming back up to 94 in Vegas. Let's take a look at the beach forecast for you. Pismo Beach, a nice day, sunny skies, 70 degrees, a northeast wind right around 5 to 10. And then again, Morro Bay will be right in the lower 70s with a southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's a look at the overall pattern. We've got this ridge offshore. You can kind of see the curving here, and that indicates the ridge that's in place. We're still tracking this area of low pressure over the Baja Peninsula. That with the ridge out to the west is creating more of an offshore flow, and that's helping with these warmer temperatures. But another trough is going to develop out of the north for us in the coming days, and that will give us somewhat of a cool down. We'll be tracking this moisture to the southeast carefully as we go throughout the next 18 hours. We may see some of this drift into Southern California, but that should be the extent of it. Not expecting any activity into Kern County. Let's take a look at the jet stream. You can see the heat that's over us right now, but then the weekend, by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week, we see another trough develop out of the north, and that means the entire state will see another cool down, and you're going to see that on the extended forecast in just a second here. Air quality will be moderate today with an AQI at 97, and today, Bakersfield, 100 degrees, and we'll see many areas about the same, 99 in Buttonwillow, 98 in Maricopa. For the mountains in the Kern River Valley, 88 in Frazier Park, 87 in Tehachapi with 90s into the Kern River Valley. Lake Isabel, 96, Kernville, 95. Look for that east-southeast wind right around 10 to 15. And then for the desert, sunny and warm here, 94 in Mojave. Ridgecrest flirting with the triple digits at 98. Your extended forecast tomorrow, 94, and then we're back into the 80s Friday and Saturday. Sunday, sunny skies and 71, and we'll put the lower 70s on the board next Monday and Tuesday. For the mountains, tomorrow, 81. We will continue the cooling trend. We're back into the 60s for the weekend. And then by early next week, by Monday, you're going to be in the upper 50s. We are going to see a little bit of a breeze Friday through the beginning part of next week. And then for the Kern River Valley, we're going to be cooling down as well. Lower 90s tomorrow. And then look at that. By Sunday, we're right at 69. So definitely a cool down on the way for us. We just have to deal with today.
All right.
Hang on.
Yep.
Thanks, Kev.
Let's take a look at your morning commute and take you outside, show you how things are shaping up. This is a look at the 99 near White Lane, and as you can see, it's running smoothly there. We do have, we're getting reports of some traffic that's kind of backing up just a little bit on the northbound lanes of the 99 near Ming Avenue. CHP just told us moments ago that the road, there's some construction going on in the area right now, so you just be mindful of that, and they should get all those lanes open momentarily, they said. And then it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So just be mindful of that if you're headed out the door immediately. Other than that, CHP says it's not going to be much of an issue. Everything else around the county also looking pretty good to start off your Wednesday morning. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
517, put it to a vote.
That's what opponents of California's new vaccine laws want voters to do. What they want as state lawmakers crack down on schools with high numbers of child vaccine exemptions.
Welcome back at 520. Disasters can strike anytime without warning, forcing you to act quickly. For the many people who have access and functional needs, an emergency could present a real challenge. As we continue our series on disaster preparedness, 17's Amber Frias has some tips on how to prepare for an emergency if you have those special needs.
We should all think about what we would do during an emergency, but every person's situation is different, which is why it is important to take time to consider your own situation and how you must plan for an emergency.
If you have some type of an access functional need or a disability, there may be some special precautions you're going to need to take.
Experts with the Red Cross recommend that people with access and functional needs make sure you give yourself extra time to prepare.
And if there's an evacuation warning, you may want to give yourself a little extra time to evacuate.
They also add if you rely on some type of technology, take extra precautions.
Like a scooter, or if you have an oxygen tank or a CPAP machine, for example, remember that you could be without power for an extended period of time and you'll want to need to have a plan in case that happens.
It is recommended you keep extra batteries, solar chargers, and if you can, extra items.
Have redundancy. That's really the key. Know what you're going to need help on, know what you need to have, and then focus on those areas and build them up to the best of your ability.
And finally, they say it is very important you keep your loved ones close.
You're going to want to have a good support network. That's important. Friends, family who can come and help you if you're in need after a disaster.
In Bakersfield, Amber Frias, 17 News.
Opponents of California's new vaccine laws want voters to weigh in on whether the measures should go into effect. Earlier this month, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a pair of bills. They allow for a statewide crackdown on schools and doctors with high numbers of childhood vaccine exemptions. But now opponents say voters should have the final say on if the bills become law. Yesterday, the California Secretary of State cleared them to start collecting signatures for a ballot initiative against the bills. The governor says he made the right decision in signing the legislation.
And I'm proud of the fact that I listened to my administration. I listened to folks on all sides of this debate, and I supported the vaccination bill because I felt that it can be implemented in an effective manner.
In order to qualify for the 2020 ballot, the group will have to collect more than 623,000 signatures from registered voters. They have until December 9th to do so.
You can get your groceries, and now Walmart employees can get help paying for college.
We'll explain the new program the company is offering that costs workers just $1 a day.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. The nation's largest private employer is beefing up to its College Perks program. Walmart is adding 7 health-related bachelor's degrees and 2 career diplomas to its program. Employees will contribute $1 a day to the program for 365 days a year, as long as they're enrolled and keeping up with their coursework. Walmart will pick up the rest of the tab. The company says it hopes this initiative will help fill a growing need for health-related jobs within its own business. Finding a job at McDonald's is now as simple as saying, "Hey Alexa." The fast food giant will now let job seekers start an application by using voice commands with Amazon's Alexa or Google's Assistant. If you say, "Alexa, help me get a job at McDonald's," Alexa will ask which country you want to work in. You'll then hear the McDonald's catchy "I'm loving it" jingle, and then you can share your phone number and get a link to continue the application process. Mattel is launching a new line of dolls the company says is free from labels. The Barbie maker is introducing a new line of dolls called Creatable World that is meant to be gender inclusive. Dolls come up with options to change their look, including accessories, clothes, and wigs to allow kids to customize their style. The Creatable World doll line consists of 6 different doll kits available in a variety of skin tones. Each kit includes 1 doll, 2 hairstyle options, and mix and match styling. They'll be for sale at major retailers, including Amazon, Target, and Walmart. Maddie?
Thanks, Alex. 5:27 now. Still ahead in our next half hour on Sunrise. She says the FFA and 4-H are more about raising kids than raising livestock. And she's been helping do that for decades now. Tabitha takes us inside the barn at the Kern County Fair. Up next.
It was important to me, so check 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Hello, hello. I can barely hear you. Hold on. This thing is messed up.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Just turning over to 5:30. This is Wednesday, September 25th.
And it's going to be another warm day out there, especially if you're going out to the fair. Kevin's got a look at your forecast on this Wednesday.
It is definitely going to be a little bit warmer than what we've been seeing since the fair started, but then there is another cool down on the way. 69 degrees out there right now under a calm wind, and as we take a look at the temperatures for today, you can see we'll be right near 80 by 9, 88 as we progress into the 11 o'clock hour, and then yes, triple digits expected this afternoon. I think we'll top out